Hi everybody, welcome down to the channel. You've just tuned in to one of my favourite Pete Cowen tips. It is going to coach you about how to get to this position, why you want to get to this position, and most importantly of all, how it's going to benefit your game. So stay tuned. I promise you, this is gold. I often get asked about where the golf club should be at the top of the backswing, how the arms should look at the top of the backswing, what the wrists should look like also at the top of the backswing. And it's an important area of the golf swing because we need to be able to control the position. You need to be fully in control of the shaft of the club. I want to be in control of the face of the club because that ultimately is going to be the deciding factor on where that golf ball starts as you make contact and impact. So you've got to be in full control of the golf club throughout the swing. And I see a lot of golfers at the moment trying really hard to get this kind of depth and width and get the club as round the body as possible because, again, a lot of people want to draw the ball, and if you want to draw the ball, people feel like you have to get wide and around and swing it from the inside, and there's only one of those things that's true, and that's swinging it in from the inside. You don't have to be as wide as you possibly can to make the ball draw. Now, this tip is not about drawing. This is about trying to get into a position at the top of the backswing that is powerful, consistent, repeatable, and just downright awesome, okay? And the drill I'm going to show you, you may have seen a certain US Open champion chipping like this because he also has had lessons with Cowen growing up. He's now with Mike Walker, who is kind of pretty much Cowen's number two. And I've watched them practice, I've watched them being coached, and yeah, this drill, let me tell you, it's mega. So, first of all, what you're gonna do is you're gonna grip it cack-handed. So for me, right-handed golfer, glove hand is going to go at the bottom. Now, you're probably already thinking, Andy, what on earth are you doing? Well, you stay right there, let me tell you. When I get to the top of the backswing, I'm looking for a specific angle between my forearms, okay? If I get to the top here and I get that width I was talking about before and my trail elbow gets out and away from my body, if you look at the angle now between my right forearm and my left forearm, it is approximately, probably just under 90 degrees or so, all right? Now, what happens when I start to bring this back into the transition, a couple of things will happen. I'll either extend the trail arm or I'll tuck it in, okay? And a lot of golfers will try and tuck this in to flatten the club. Now, that is an awful position to be in. So when we start trying to manipulate the arms, which will therefore manipulate the shaft, we've lost complete control of shaft and face. Now we are in trouble. You might just get that one shot, that one beautiful timing that gives you that beautiful little draw, and that's all great, but it's not consistent, okay? We need to learn to be in full control. At the top of the backswing, I want to see a 45-degree angle. So as we get to the top of the backswing, I want this trail elbow not to be pointing over there, pointing more in here. I would always say more in line with your rib cage as you make that rotation to the top of the backswing. Now you see my forearms are much closer together than that position. This is key, okay? Now, because if I get into that position at the top, I'm still able to keep the club on plane on the way down, maybe just ever so slightly on the inside. Remember, when we're talking about getting the club on the inside, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees maximum, which is minuscule at the speed that we swing. So the reason why we go cack-handed is as we start taking the club away, get to there, my trail arm will struggle to get wide and over there, because if it does, look where the club goes. And now look what happens to my wrist. The whole thing, the whole golf swing breaks down, and we don't want the golf swing to break down. Cack-handed like this just is a beautiful way of putting you into position, okay? Now look at my forearms. Right arm to left arm, again approximately in and around it 45 degrees. But what I also feel here is I feel the tension in my shoulders. I really feel like I've rotated to the top of the backswing with my upper body, but I've created that lifted up with the arms. And when of the body and the lifting of the arms, we're then starting to really load the shoulders, really get some power in the upper body, but also there's a little bit of tension in there, so you've got full control of this here instrument. Okay, so if I get into that kind of cat-handed setup again, get to the top of the backswing, look at the trail elbow, beautiful, pointing, staying inside of where my body is, but I've still got width. And you know why I've got width? Because my lead arm has stayed pretty straight. Again, I'm not a huge advocate, it doesn't have to stay like a rock, okay? But we want to keep it relatively as wide as we can. So if I get width, that's width, okay? It's also width. I've got great rotation and I've got excellent height throughout the swing. I'm not hitting balls like this, but what I am doing is just getting that sensation of width, height, rotation, loading up of the shoulders. As I pull that club back down now, you'll see my trail elbows back into my rib cage as well. So I'm into position now. That shaft of the club is parallel to my feet. I've got a couple of things going on. I'm in a position now where as I would strike the ball, I've got my hands in front of the ball. So I'm also in a position where I'm able to create compression. All right, compression is vital because we want to get consistency in the ball striking. So if I get to the top of the swing, lovely position. As I lower my hands down, as I work back down into there, my lower body will naturally just start to move out of the way. And I had a conversation with a client over on Skillis saying, he was like, yeah, I feel like I really have to fire my hips through impact. You don't have to fire them if your club is coming down in the correct plane. If your club is coming down on a good path, you do not need to fire your hips. They will move because of the path in which the club is coming down. And that's a really key point. Once you've done a few reps of this, once you've done a few reps of kind of the cat-handed move to the top of the backswing, pulling it down, you'll really feel this trail arm right in front of your body as you're transitioning and then working your rotation on the way through. The key thing is you feel that top of the backswing position there. You look at the trail elbow position. It's not out and away from your body. There's no need for too much external shoulder rotation. You're keeping it right in front of your body on the way down, on the way up. You've got a great shoulder rotation as you're doing this as well. That makes you keep everything wide, keeps it high, keeps it loaded. You go back into your normal grip, get a feeling, try and recreate that same position with the two forearms, and then golf swing on repeat is just so much better, so much more consistent. And don't forget to repair your divots. Whew. Greenkeeper is not going to like me. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Comment below, subscribe, like. See you next time.